Hello everyone, my name is Wendy Weather. I am the history drag queen.
And I'm Ace Heart, lover of all things, all people, as long as they have a beautiful heart and they treat people with kindness.
Exactly. And welcome back to
Histor-Tea.
And today we are talking about
St. Patrick's Day.
So, St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest holiday in March, right?
Right.
Green, leprechauns, pots of gold, rainbow, shamrocks.
You named them all. You got
everything.
But of course, the most prominent thing is the color.
The color green. So, green's my favorite color.
What? I couldn't tell.
Couldn't tell. I know. So, the color green is one of the most common colors found in nature. It's right after blue, obviously. Green is everywhere. Green is the color of happiness, creativity, fresh. When you see green, you think of something fresh. Right. Green means go, right? When you're driving.
I mean, going green, recycling.
Exactly. And I actually have a favorite story about the color green.
Okay.
Very historical story. So, back in actually the Victorian era.
Oh, wow.
You know, I know a little thing or two about the Victorian era, right?
No way.
So, Victorian era, they had this brand new green. Brand new green, just hit the market, called Shields green.
Okay.
Well, it was actually named with this man named Robert Shields or something like that. So, it was actually made with radioactive arsenic isotopes.
That sounds terribly poisonous.
It very much was deadly poisonous.
To die for. The color was to die for.
Literally to die for. Everyone's croaking to get this color on their house. So, the new thing they had just, invented during the Victorian era was actually fake flowers. Silk flowers. And so, they would use that to dye them. Literally. Both, dye them green and people are dying. People are croaking. So, the radioactive isotopes were in that green for flowers and wallpaper.
Oh, so as if it wasn't already prominent, now we're putting it in their houses.
Right, now it's in the house, and people are just clamoring to get this green. Clamoring.
Don't let the baby lick the wall!
Literally, children are licking walls. People are like, "Oh, do you see my new?" Croaking.
Right. Hey, Sandy got that new wallpaper, and 2 weeks later she died. I want it in my house.
Exactly. Literally, it was so good to die for. Yeah. But that's my favorite story of the color green is because it accidentally was poisonous.
Oh my goodness gracious.
It was crazy.
And of course, as we said, what is this green associated with? But other than St. Patrick's Day.
Exactly.
But the funny thing is that we call it St. Patrick's Day, but I was talking to Wendy before this, and we discovered that he's not actually I guess I would call it a sainted saint. He's called a
folk saint. Oh. So St. Patrick actually was never canonized. Never canonized by the Catholic Church because he was kind of before the Catholic Church. Right?
Yeah, true.
So, he's what's categorized as a folk saint. And a folk saint is kind of like somebody before the Catholic Church or somebody who is prominent in their field.
Okay.
And is kind of like an icon, So there's actually, I found a whole list of folk saints. It's a whole thing. Yeah. There's 2 folk saints that I was really shocked that were even considered a saint. One of them was actually Marie Laveau. So, Marie Laveau is actually the patron saint of women, children, love, fevers, and, of course, Louisiana voodoo.
Oh.
Right? Mm-hmm. And another one, shockingly, patron saint Princess Diana of Wales.
What?
Diana of Wales, Princess Diana, is actually the patron saint of mental health, internal struggles, and philanthropy.
Well, and I think the other thing to look at this, the idea of being a folk saint is kind of like an influencer nowadays.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're an icon of your industry, of your time, or, what your subject is.
You influence, because like we mentioned, he was kind of before the Catholic Church, Saint Patrick was, but he also had influence on the Catholic Church.
On the Catholic Church.
In the sense of, because actually one thing that's interesting is that Saint Patrick actually is British Roman. He's not even Irish.
Right. He wasn't not even Irish.
Not even Irish, and but he was influencing the Irish. And in fact, he was kind of, I guess, like we said, an influencer of bringing Christianity to Ireland, and using things like a 3-leaf clover, which are very prominent there, as a way of educating the people. And so he kind of used the three-leaf clover as a way to define the Trinity to people.
Father, Son, Holy Ghost.
That's right. Hey, literally, right? Yeah. And so using these things that now all of a sudden have been commercialized into this big holiday, but over in Ireland, as we're going to talk about, it actually is more of a religious holiday, St. Patrick's Day is, versus in America where it's more celebratory and flashy and, taking and making things bigger, because like the three-leaf clover, I mean, it was kind of a myth of the four-leaf clover because they were hard to find.
Right.
But it didn't really become an idea of lucky or anything huge and commercialized until it came to America. Surprise, surprise! Everything that comes to America tends to get commercialized, and then we're like, let's make it bigger and kind of blow it out of proportion.
Exactly.
But the first actual official St. Patrick's Day in America was in 1601 in St. Augustine, Florida. And I'm not going to get too much into this because I think Wendy Weather's going to kind of take us away with what St. Patrick's Day kind of grew to be. But I wanted to give you a little bit of background history on kind of the origin of St. Patrick and who he kind of was, because he really was influential more on religion than anything. Right. When we were talking, of course, about St. Valentine, it was kind of a religious thing, but his was more about the whole marriage thing and going against the church versus building the church. Yeah.
So, like you said, the first St. Patrick's Day actually was kind of in Florida, St. Augustine, 1601. So, St. Patrick's Day as we know it now, like leprechauns, pots of gold, things like that,
right,
actually become a thing until about the 1800s-ish. So, what was happening at that time was a lot of immigrants were coming into America during the Industrial Revolution to work, other things like that. Well, there's this little thing, unfortunately, called xenophobia.
Oh, yes.
Xenophobia, which one of the groups that was kind of under attack of xenophobia was Irish immigrants, Irish Americans.
Okay.
And so what kind of happened is they still had this day of St. Patrick's Day or St. Patty's Day in Ireland, which was kind of like a hybrid of 4th of July and Thanksgiving, just to kind of like Americanize it to like kind of understand what it's about. So they wanted it to be kind of more inclusive because they were already outcast as it is. Right. Why we need to try to like do something, kind of brand ourselves a little bit better. Yeah. And it kind of rehabilitated the image of Irish Americans of being like, oh, we're so inclusive, like, come join us in this celebration, like, and that's kind of how it became a thing. Okay. Instead of it being kind of a nationalistic Irish holiday, they kind of made it as like a community thing, and where anybody and everybody could
it seemed to almost travel up the East Coast from, of course, I mean, that's kind of where America was established more, was the East Coast. But, the colonies. But that's kind of where it went. And then, of course, over time, as land developed and people began to develop the land, it spread with the tradition of becoming even bigger and thrown out of proportion.
Right. Right. And actually, the most common thing known about St. Patrick's Day is the little mascot. Everything got a little mascot. Leprechauns.
The leprechauns, that's the thing too, is that I feel like one thing that people don't understand is that the idea of leprechaun, or it was kind of thrown into more of a Celtic kind of term, which meant little human, and then it was more Americanized to the American language as leprechaun, but it actually was centered around the idea of water spirits. Yeah,
so there is actually a super old Celtic like folklore. I think his name was Fergus. So he sees these like little sprites in the like water. He was like trying to swim, and he just grabs them, and he was like, they're like, don't hurt us, we'll give you 3 wishes and whatnot. And that's kind of like where we got the idea of like leprechauns. And it's derivative from this old Celtic word. I couldn't explain it for my life.
We were trying to sit there and pronounce it to each other before this. But the thing too is like that's where the 4-leaf clover kind of tied in, because the whole idea is that it allowed people with the 4-leaf clover, they had this luck that it almost made them invisible to these leprechauns.
Exactly.
But it also took it a little bit of a step further, and it made it where if they did get confronted by leprechauns, they could had the ability to fight them off.
Right, exactly.
And so that's kind of where the luck of the four-leaf clover came from. And then even stemming back, when we're talking about traditions, kind of going back to the beginning, you know, talking about green, then it became this idea that, like, these little things couldn't play jokes and pinch you if you had green on, which again was commercialized into something that was more of a game. And I think that's kind of the thing, too, is instead of making it what it is, it almost becomes more playful, like 4th of July, and like, putting games in there and making kind of a fall carnival-esque feel. And then, of course, making it something that people are like, I'm going to get you if you don't get green. But I'll tell you right now, if somebody pinches me and I don't have green on, I'm like, I got green eyes, I'm good. like you didn't see my green eyes, but you do now as I'm staring you down.
Exactly. And so another thing, just to kind of reiterate, it is very different between American, like, St. Patrick's Day and, like, Irish St. Patty's Day. Right. Like, because it's still, as you said earlier, it's still a religious holiday over there. Right. And, again, it's mostly of, like, Irish nationalism, kind of being with your family, you know, and whatnot, and embracing kind of everybody. Right. And they mostly wear green, orange, and white, which is the colors of, you know, the Irish flag. But in America, it is vastly different.
Right. Well, and to kind of stem off and throw in a pun there, but, you know, it's kind of like Easter, in a sense, kind of religious holiday ways, which hint next month, who knows, I don't know what our thing will be, you know, throwing an Easter egg in there. But anyway, it's kind of a religious holiday, like Americans have Easter. It's kind of like their religious holiday for the Christianity and the growth of the church and stuff like that.
Specifically in Ireland.
Yeah, in Ireland. Which, again, I mean, I don't blame them for not understanding our style. I think that's the thing is if they even took a holiday and put their own twist on it, it's going to. I just think that as we're kind of known as the country of industry in a sense, so we take things and we're like, well, let's put our little twist on it and make it even better. But for historians like ourselves, it's so important, and even for our audience of you that are listening, it's so important to delve into where these things stemmed from to really know the root cause or the root development of what they are, which I'm hoping you guys are getting a lot out of this series as we continue to move along and give this history, because diving deep and understanding history is going to save so much and preserve these traditions and culture.
Exactly. And I think that is a great time for a little break. And I actually have a surprise for you after our little break.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Everybody, we're going to play a little game. Okay. So, are you ready?
Yeah, let the nerves set in during the break. We'll see you guys right after this break.
Hey, all you lovers, losers, and misfits. It's Ace O Hearts. I hope you're enjoying this episode of Histor-Tea, but we wanted to take a pause to make sure that you knew what our social media was, and go ahead and give us a follow on them. So on all platforms, Wendy Weather is The Wendy Weather, and on all platforms for me, it is Ace O Hearts Official. So make sure you go and give us a follow, because we'll have inside scoop and special fun clips along with teasers for the episodes for each month. Next month, we have a very special guest joining us to talk about a very important topic to both of our hearts, so we hope you can join us for that one as well. But for now, go ahead and follow us also on Spotify, and if you haven't clicked the subscribe button and you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe there as well so that you can get the first looks. And who knows, pretty soon we may be adding a Patreon, so keep an eye out for that. But thanks again for joining us for this episode of Histor-Tea, and we hope that you enjoy our future episodes. So, let's get back into this one. See you soon, lovers, losers, and misfits.
So we were talking during the break, and I realized, you know, her thing's the color green for St. Patrick's Day, but where I connect with it is the leaves of a shamrock actually, in most cases, are in the shape of hearts.
Come on now,
So,
I see you.
I'm finding a way to relate.
I mean, it do be giving heart.
Yeah, I mean, if you get to zoom in on the one on my cheek, or if you get to just look at the things on, it's just connected hearts like a community. So, like, connected hearts like me with the world.
And I think, honestly, that's kind of what St. Patrick did, right?
Yeah.
So he kind of connected everybody using the shamrock with the whole Trinity, everything, you know.
Hey, 3 in 1.
Come on now. Not 3-in-1 shampoo. Don't ever use 3-in-1 shampoo.
Oh, no. Mm-mm. No, thank you.
But yeah, he's, you know, Christian influencer.
Speaking of that with the theme here, Irish Spring. I can't use Irish Spring.
Oh, really?
No, I can't. It gives me a rash. Yeah, I'm like, I smell good, but look at this rash. Anyway, get back on topic.
Like I said before the break, let's play a little game.
Ba, ba, ba. I don't know. That's the game music.
So St. Patrick's Day, you know, is kind of centered around like luck, right? So there's several different things that are considered like good luck signs, good luck charms. Well, Ace, do you know of any of those?
Shamrock?
So I'm going to give you a list of 10 different things, or some questions of 10 different things, and you're going to try to guess if it's luck or leave it.
Okay.
So,
luck or leave it.
Luck or leave it.
Today on luck or leave it.
So I'm going to give you, this first one. Do you think a clover is a good luck sign or not?
I think that it's one of those things that if you think that you thinking it is helps you, then maybe.
Okay.
But it also depends on if it has 4 leaves or 3.
So actually, because of, you know, St. Patty's Day, the clover is a universal sign of luck. It's a good luck sign. So it's the epitome of St. Patrick's Day and a classic good luck charm.
Okay.
And I will warn you, these questions get progressively more difficult.
Well, the one thing too though is it a good luck charm if it dies in your wallet?
I mean, I don't know. That's true.
How long does luck go?
So, let's see. The next good luck charm, an axe. Do you think an axe is a good luck charm or not? So are you going to luck it or are you going to leave it?
Well, seeing as it's a commonly used murder weapon, I'm going to say no.
You're correct. So some legends actually are told that bringing an axe into the house or in your home can actually lead to bad luck, even death. So at the very least, we can kind of agree that it's safe to leave the axe kind of not, you know, maybe outside in the woods in the trees.
Yeah.
You know.
Let it not be in the house.
So our next one, horseshoes. Do you think horseshoes are good luck charms?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes! So horseshoes are actually a very good luck symbol because in Western Europe, horseshoes are actually made from iron, right? And iron was seen to kind of ward off evil.
Ah.
So
is it a good luck charm? Yay or nay?
Get out of town.
I've been thinking about it the whole time.
And there's actually kind of some like disagreement of whether if it should be depicted upside down or not.
I had friends that got like tattoos of horseshoes and they were like, yeah, it's a good luck thing, so that's the only reason why I do.
I mean, yeah, horseshoes, I mean, it's my personal like favorite good luck charm.
Yeah.
I have a keychain of it on my keys at all times.
Okay.
Like, I love horseshoes. So, next one, a hoe of the garden variety.
So that to be like, what depends, do they stay or leave? A hoe.
So, like a garden trowel. Do you think that's a good luck sign or not?
I'm gonna say no, only because it's still very close to an axe.
You're right. So a garden hoe, it's not deadly, but carrying it in the house can actually bring bad luck. And if you accidentally bring it in a house,
Bring any kind of hoe in the house is bad luck.
So what you need to do, if you for some reason like doing the garden, walked in, I have to go grab my shears or something, you walked in with it, you have to walk immediately back out the door where you came from to reverse its bad luck. Because if you try to like leave throughout the other house,
if you go get those shears are gonna be deadly too.
Exactly.
That's in that case it would not be sheer luck.
No, it would not. So our next one, a rocking chair. Do you think a rocking chair is good luck?
It depends on if it's rocking by itself or not. Because if it's rocking by itself, then I'm gonna say no luck. But if it has like a grandma knitting in it, like yes.
You think it's good luck?
I'm gonna just be on the fence. Is there a fence option?
Yes. So rocking chairs are actually bad luck.
Oh, good. See, that's why they're creepy in horror movies.
So if you're using a rocking chair, no problem. You're fine. But in Irish legend, if you have an empty rocking chair in your home, it brings bad omens and like evil spirits.
Ours is on the porch.
I was about to say, because that's why a lot of people have their rocking chairs on their patios or on their front porches.
And of course, that's why they're like, oh, bad omen, horror movie, a rocking chair by itself. There is a ghost or poltergeist in this house.
And if it starts rocking by yourself, you probably should move.
Yes.
So, a next one is a dream catcher. Do you think dream catchers are good or bad luck?
I would say good luck, only because rooting back to like Native American culture, it was very much to catch bad dreams or nightmares and things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say good luck.
Yeah, they're absolutely, completely good luck. So in Native American Ojibwe culture, They believed that the human minds were more susceptible, like, during their weakest points, which is sleeping. So evil spirits could come, like, envelop your mind while you're sleeping. So they made dream catchers to kind of envelop and capture those bad spirits.
Been going back to the spiritual side of things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I have always had a dream catcher in my house, even when I was a little kid, because my great-grandmother and everything, like, we always have a dream catcher. My granny has her dream catcher on her headboard.
My family and I have always loved, and even my family history goes back in Native American culture.
Same.
So I love dream catchers. I think they're gorgeous and beautiful. And the idea that they're like, they also, to catch certain dreams, they were woven a certain way and everything. So there's so much meaning behind how the webbing in a dream catcher was, executed.
Exactly. But yeah, dream catchers, totally good luck.
Yes!
Totally good luck.
Hey, I have gotten 3 out of all of these in my house. Like, done.
So, next one, fireflies. Do you think fireflies are good luck or not?
Well, the idea, since there's also always, in history, been the idea of catching fireflies to have for good luck, I would say yes, but if I were the firefly, I'd be like, I don't want to be good luck.
So, actually, fireflies, bad luck.
Good, I've never caught
them. So fireflies, you may think they're cute, catching them as kids, having fun, but if there is a firefly in your home...
If you are cursed now, it's because of the firefly.
According to Victorian-era superstitions, it could bring bad luck and sometimes even death. So, if there's a firefly in your house, get it out. It's got to get out of your house.
There was, like, this thing that I'd seen, I can't remember, on a show that, like, if the firefly stayed lit up, it was something good, but if it died, then there was, like, some bad omen with it. Happening. And I'm like, well, if I end up dying and I was a firefly, I'd be like, curse them too. But
yeah, fireflies, total bad luck.
Good to know.
Next one, evil eyes. Do you know what an evil eye is?
The all-seeing eye.
The evil eye. Is it good luck or bad luck?
I think it depends, because I know that there are some cultures where it's a good luck thing, like back in Egyptian culture and stuff. So I would say good luck.
Yeah, so the evil eye, by contrary of its name, it's not evil. So it's actually one of the most powerful good luck charms that you could have. So the evil eye does no evil towards you. It actually protects you from evil things, evil wishings, harm, everything. And it goes all the way back to ancient Mesopotamia.
We have it on dollar bills.
Actually, the ones on dollar bills are actually... an overarching, all-seeing, like, God's eye.
Oh, okay.
So it actually isn't the evil eye, so it's kind of like an eye of, like, religion, because in God we trust. And, like,
unless, of course, you're watching Lord of the Rings, then that's the terrible one.
Yeah,
that's the bad eye. That's not the one we're talking about.
That's what got, needs some eye drops. Needs some... it needs a little drops.
Yeah.
But, next one is cactus. Cacti. Do you think cactus are good or bad luck?
Good luck.
Good luck?
Well...
Actually...
Well, you hug it. I mean, it gives you the answer, but I was just trying to go, because I don't know enough about them. I'll say, education-wise, I don't know enough about them.
Yeah.
But I was just looking at your eyes, and you're like, so I was about to change my answer.
So, cactus are actually bad luck.
Oh.
So, cactus, they might be cute, trendy, cute little, things to have. But, they are, according to principles of feng shui, Chinese principles of feng shui, spiky plants and, like, thorns and stuff like that.
Maybe that's where my last relationship went bad, because we had cactuses in the house.
Oh, no! But, they bring bad luck and kind of discord into the house.
Well, that was felt. Believe me.
Alright, are you ready for your last question?
Oh, yes. This will be my final answer.
So, gorgons. Gorgon heads. Do you think gorgons are good or bad luck?
I'm gonna have to tell you what a gorgon is.
So, Medusa.
Oh.
So, Medusa.
Well, I'm gonna say bad, only because if you look Medusa in the eyes, you turn to salt or stone. And so I'm just gonna be like, because it's always had a dark nature to the idea, I'm gonna say bad luck.
Actually, gorgon heads and Medusa heads are good luck. They're actually, so they were a symbol of ancient Greeks to ward off evil, because it was placed in, like, doorways, friezes, and armor and decor, even, like, plates. So they saw that the gorgons actually could protect you because they were symbols of strength and like fierceness.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, I guess if Medusa was protecting me, I would feel safe.
Yeah, honestly,
you know,
no, for
I'd be
real.
like, she'll turn you to stone. You better not look her in the eye.
Exactly. But yeah,
That was a fun game.
that was Luck It or Leave It.
Yeah, we need to start doing more of those.
You did really
on here.
great. You did.
How did you guys do? Were you guys playing along and talking
Yeah.
about it? If not, get your friends together and try to play and see what it is. I mean, don't go off of our answers, even though you may already know the answers. But go play with your friends and see what they think. Because,
Yeah.
you know, I will say that we study a lot of historical stuff and background and everything, so it was a little bit based on that. But yeah, check out with your friends and see what happens with that. And thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you guys so much. And again, put in comments, like, what history topics do you want us to talk about, like, discover, dissect, and discuss, and of course, sip the Histor-Tea.
Yes, for sure. Make sure you go and follow us on our social medias.
Yes.
Also, if you're wanting to follow the YouTube series, if you're listening on podcast side of things, go to Wendy Weather on YouTube, and she
Yes.
has it there if you would like to watch us act like goons and be fools on this, and also educate you in the process. Or if you're watching here on YouTube, you can go find us on Histor, and then all cap T and then IE on podcast to be able to listen to that and share with your friends.
Yeah, and honestly, tune in to the visual podcast because honestly, you're giving very Mad Hatter Does Ireland.
Yes,
Yes, and I mean,
what is this look? What did you call it?
it's Avon of Green Gables.
I told her, I was like, I see that 100%.
It's like I'm selling Avon to like
It is.
Gables
I was
and, like,
sitting
all the
there
other
getting into
people.
all this hair and makeup, and I was like, we may have to dye our hair red.
You might have to
Go
dye
for
your
the
hair.
auburn. I'm loving this look. But definitely, like she said, comment below and let us know what you'd like to see. Even outfit-wise, if you want certain outfit style
Yeah.
things for us to go with, just to Metro themes, we would love to have any advice and any tips you have. We hope the sound is a lot better on this one. We tried
We tried some different things.
We got some
hopefully-
lavalier mics this time, so we'll see. But definitely comment below. And of course, with our editing skills and stuff, since we both have backgrounds in communication, hopefully we'll be able to figure it out. But thank you so much for joining us. This was Histor-Tea. Once again, I am Ace of Hearts.
And I'm Wendy Weather, the History Drag Queen.
Much love to you. Have
Bye,
a good
guys.
afternoon, evening, or night. Much love.